remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team's turn to ban. Dire team's turn to pick. Radiant team's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Mirana.
Dire team's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Warlock.
Radiant team's turn to pick. 10 seconds left. Decided?
Outworld Devourer.
Dire team ban.
Just keep laying waste to him. If he's linked up to another hero, that should still like share the damage, shouldn't it? Till after it go.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Radiant team's turn to pick.
Interesting interactions coming through with Fatal Bonds, yeah. Well, in a lot of ways.
10
we
seconds
do see a bit
remaining.
more of a classic combo. And whenever you did see an Oracle picked up, then you saw it
5
with,
seconds
a
remaining.
hero that doesn't have some good offers.
10
Like
seconds
an OD who
left.
can then
Face
benefit
Decided?
from the fault promise, have to throw on top of him. Still
Dire
right click
team's turn
away,
to
the
pick.
team might do ridiculous amount of work. And the face is void now. gets them some extra AoE control and effects, wasting anymore, picking up the map right away. Definitely looking forward to that, right? Especially with the faces of Void and two heroes that you don't see enough of these days. They have the potential to just create these amazing situations where turn a team fight around on its heels with a good chrono or good promise.
Let's get on with it.
These are always the games that have the most potential to just be entertained, because they create these possibilities, team fights, and thusly the game going back and forth.
Oh man, no, I'm gonna have to come back to that thought. Never mind. I thought there was some excitement going on down here, but the Oracle wasn't able to back away from the smoke Slardar fast enough. If Slardar had gotten a hair up on this, fine. It's been a long couple days for these players. It's also been a long couple days for us. So
definitely feel like I'm starting to slip a little bit. Losing the words, but they'll probably come back to get this excitement. In fact, versus Hive, once again, nothing really on the
30
line
seconds
anymore.
to battle.
Train has left
Pride.
the station.
Pride is
but
on the
pride is
line,
always-
drag and drop.
It always is on the line.
Whew.
But yeah.
Bedoy doing a little sword dancing up here. Gonna look at the way these lanes are shaking out. It's about what you would expect. Brewmaster off lane. It looks like it'll be a support Slardar.
They always
Mid Magnus. Presumably that's going to be your mid Magnus versus OD. I think that is a matchup that favors the OD. He's got better range, but also he's able to sap intelligence, making the spam of Shockwave less frequent. Until I guess the bottle comes out. Because if you get hit by a bunch of OD spam and you lose a bunch of intelligence, but you have a bottle, it'll help you refill your mana faster.
Yeah, either way, right? Max is a hero that can feel very comfortable standing in the backlines if necessary, with waves safe distance for a while. That
Denied.
It's going to be an arrow eventually, but right now it's going to be a courier snipe and then an arrow. That's what she's looking for.
I mean,
Wow, that is the most impatient attempt at a courier snipe I've ever seen. She waited there for 0.3 of a second and then left. Farm.
farm the hard camp like this, very close. Why waste time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not faulting her, but here we go. The courier's coming out. Let's see if she actually rotates back in with the right timing. And she will. Okay. Good game sense coming out of this Mirana. Oh, never mind. Here she goes. Gonna hang
good.
out.
I mean, it's too slippers for that.
Are those cracks in Dyer's top tower?
Yeah, the poor man's shield, not that big of a deal here. You know, because a lot of the damage setting comes out of this harass's peer. But the courier gold would really help. Not to mention 3 minutes without any bottle running, 3 minutes with the off lane having no ability to get items. A dead courier is really hard on the mid laner, but it's really, really hard on the off laner.
Now, allowed to stay alive. Meanwhile, sipping on the last of his clarity.
Out of my way!
Taking out all of these big creeps off the jump. Nice little
The
thing.
prize is mine.
Right, plus sneaking away the boundary. It's already level 3 now, so if he then comes to the middle lane after a setup from the arrow, he can walk in and
Unlucky find.
Very passive gameplay here, considering you have a roaming Mirana.
Soldier's fortune.
It's not that common in a professional top-tier level game to see a roaming Mirana not try to get an early arrow somewhere. You know?
roaming Sparta on the look. Roger spending a lot of time down bottom, just trying to tell the Chacho who's not getting a counter on Arrow.
There it is.
After the setup from the Oracle, a couple of right clicks from Void, not much else that he can provide up against a very tanky hero with the full shield of his own. Roger throws down another one. Sure, this is right.
He's gonna try to get the mana to TP, and he will just narrowly get it.
Canceled.
Oh wow!
After all.
Very nice play by Hive.
It was ours.
Also a good play by Roger. His awareness there, like he almost got away.
Almost is quite cut it in Dota. Almost never enough to. You almost kill people every single time.
Thanks for
It's
the very philosophical
It's true though, right? It's very
breakdown.
simple thing. But you gotta actually follow through.
At a certain point, his fate was in his opponent's hands, but he forced them to play that situation perfectly. I guess it also didn't help that Faceless Void happened to proc the bash there, you know.
Dance trying up here is would be actually right now just a real danger early. You know, the levels
Catch
start to get a bit
us
of
if
a
you can.
higher mana pool.
Yep. 1-0, and this passivity works fine until you get 6 on the Centaur and probably Blink. And until the Faceless Void has some attack speed. Remember, a lot of people forget this, but most of Faceless Void's actual damage is going to end up coming from Time Lock. 125 bonus damage is a lot. Like, that's an extra 2 attacks, considering its magical damage as well, so it's not reduced by armor. If you get attack speed up on a Faceless Void, he should be fine here, bottom, by the way. If you get attack speed up on him in the Chronosphere, that Time Lock ends up becoming the bulk of your damage.
That's why we see, we used to see a lot of older Magi's being mixed together with the Fate. To bump that up, you'll see frequently Maelstrom take up for that.
It's also one of the few heroes where, in early hand Midas, gives him much more combat potential than on basically anybody else. Because compared to most other heroes, his damage increase specifically early game is far more substantial than it is for most right-click carries at this stage.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped
Wake
away.
up a little bit, preventing his tower dragon ups, keeping them down bottom. Roger has been in this general area this entire game. Top lane, easy for sense. Still gonna get gone on here. Sador actually chasing through the jungle. TP dart now. It's gonna be Fervent taken over, and it's actually being
Oh, just get the
successful.
kill!
No,
Okay, there you go.
our Zeke actually finishing off the Shadow Word. Sador locked down. The arrow will miss just a little bit too late. Thrown out by Fervent and doesn't be able to walk his way out of there with the face boots. The rotation was there, but the execution not quite on point there.
Why wouldn't he be able to walk himself away? He walked himself in there. Do you frequently walk places you can't walk out of? No. The answer is no.
Bottom lane, low walking here as well. That's fantastic. Crush comes through on the face of Void. Does have another time walk, and he gets it off with Shadow Words. Good enough to take him out.
Right, there you go. No mana now on Chocolate though, so Faceless Void should be able to take control of this lane starting from this point.
Still doing this.
Ooh, that arrow. Narrow miss. Next level creep farming.
Creep stealing, you mean? Range creep.
I meant what I said.
Faceless Void. Yelling now.
Yeah, this is, if that happened in one of my pubs, 4 people would be screaming at each other in 4 different languages right now. But it happened in a pro game, so I'm sure they're okay with it. Oh no! Piranha just tried to farm. Did you catch that?
Well, not
He was
quite,
trying to
but
farm
yeah.
the camp,
I heard
and the arrow was on point. The small creep was like the hitbox wasn't showing in front of it, but I guess it was. So even though the Satyr Tormentor appeared to be up front, ended up grabbing the rock.
Gonna try and go again, shot. He is level 6 just now. So is Faces Void, so they're gonna have to make a jump call. Well, they can actually make the kill happen inside the Cronus. Not without Zeke there. So yeah. No.
They should be able to get a kill in Chronosphere, but I'm not sure they can get out. Right, because you can Chronosphere, during that duration, you can get a Star Storm, and you can end it with a long Sacred Arrow, potentially. So there's one hero that doesn't move for like 40 seconds. Fortunately, there are 4 heroes down here. And also, Hive do not have vision of the Magnus, so they can only assume the Magnus is down there somewhere as well, waiting for an RP. They're just going to give it up. I think that's the right call.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We'll walk back into Division 1.
Radiant's bottom
Hive
tower
did
has
smart thing,
fallen.
just take the face. Scan them out. Stay if they want to
They're
dive.
beating on
arrow,
Dire's top
scout.
tower.
This should just be a tower trade. You don't want to TP
Are
into a
those
Chronosphere.
cracks
There's
in
no
Dire's
blink on the
top
brew,
tower?
so it's not like he can engage from the little hell that he's dug himself into. He's actually trying to cut himself all the way back around. We might see the
Dire's
TP
top
rotations
tower
at
is
that
under
point.
attack.
Here come the TP rotations with Shockblow coming around behind. That's actually quite clever. We'll see if it ends up working out.
He puts the
Cyclone.
Faces Void up in the air, so he can't help out. Follow up a little bit of help from Center Warner, getting the OD in. Pikachu, he wants to bring in the Herd, but another Cyclone, keeping him around the fight. Roger, will caught by a little bit of damage from Orbit. Follow up there from Darkseid, still has a Chronosphere, will throw it out for him. A couple of right clicks, but it's actually being healed up by Smiley. Time mark and another nuke. Will still finish him off now. Shachlo, after his ultimate is down, gets control up. Beautiful up. Heather, 3 into Toy, ready to follow up with the Empower. Pikachu, last man standing above the rocks drop just for him. Make sure that he can't pull any more shenanigans. Orbit already on the way out of there as well. Trying to duck and weave through the trees. Barely being able to. That was a disaster.
Someone better help Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, the honestly for Hive, they just did not
Radiant
seem to have
structures
the
have been
coordination
snow
between them.
fortified.
They each were going in 5 different directions with that fight. They were not really coordinating. And when you're playing up against a Troll Warlord, you'll lose a tower if you lose a fight that close to any sort of objective.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Wow, Mirana likes to live dangerously. Can get in some shrine usage right next to that push.
An arrow here, they... Yeah, step out of it. Been standing there.
Zeros have been something to look at. I'll tell you what.
Look at for a long time because they don't...
Regeneration.
If Dash Ha worked in Dota 2, I'm pretty sure we'd be looking at like a 40% accuracy for intended targets. If you include that little creep that jumped in front of his big brother.
Time walk here. Roger comes in for a crush. Another time walk rate of 6 seconds. And they also have to use a stampede to make sure that it doesn't get bashed up or anything. It's actually too bad. At the very least, forces them all the way back.
Still, despite the fact that this isn't going super well for Hive at this juncture in the game, bear in mind that they aren't really that far behind in terms of actionable items. If they can get in and get themselves a good fight initiation, right now they could potentially make that work. There's no finished items yet for a fact. If they wait too long, though,
There's one.
those finished items... Okay, well, one is there, but it's not on the troll yet, so now's the time to fight. This fight bottom is... If they can get a good Chronosphere, this is the time to do it. They're going to try.
Catches two, follow with the arrow for some extra damage, but the raindrops actually keep Star alive.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last
But at the very
long.
least, it's a shot.
That's a really good pickup. This was the exact window that they needed to make something happen.
Thing with the phase. Yeah, it's a very long cooldown. During this phase of game, you want to use every single time. It's off cooldown. needs to get killed because you're rather unlikely to
Oh dear.
maybe middle lane, Storm just shows up Shadow Blade and starts getting free kill. They do get the follow with the arrow, but the rest of the fight is already there to screen up the J from damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see tower defense coming out here. The Warlock does have the Golem as well, and Docklow has Primal Split and is just aching to use it. Look at his position. He does have Blink Dagger. So.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, here's the deal, too. That last fight that Hive wouldn't manage to grab one kill, that was the last opportunity it was going to be that easy. Because now, a lot of mobility items in the last 30 seconds have come out on it. You got 2 Blink Daggers and a Shadow Blade, all hitting inventories in that time period. Granted, Centaur did manage to get a Blink Dagger during that time as well. Really nobody else on Hive is in fighting shape, so at this point it's all about biding time and trying to catch up. Don't think that they can really go initiate on anybody from attacked with confidence.
4 items to make Pike. It's quite a ways away from it. This Void doesn't even have the treads yet because he won. Those are big damage items. Top, they're gonna get a kill on the Warlock.
Maybe
not. Almost got enough heal to Smiley, but we don't understand. The Chef is not helping him on power range, especially not with the amplified damage. So that's his fate. Transportation, 2-for-1 trade, definitely not.
Dire's top tower? Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, and the courier goes down as well, which is
Not sure how that happened.
that's worth a lot more gold than any one of these hero kills, probably. At this stage. Well, you know, maybe if you're killing cores, they're worth more. Couriers, that's pretty penny. Especially if you factor in, like, the gold cost of travel to go back to the battle rather than the courier bring stuff out to you.
Radiant have
That's up.
fortified their structures.
Just something
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Go back to them and all stick with items.
Yeah, honestly, they
Radiant's bottom tower is no
had
more.
gotten far enough ahead. Oh dear.
Shadow Blade under Central Ward, so they can't take some. They're gonna fall up. Spear should be available, not throwing it out because they didn't need it. Trigger the Aegis without it, and they find a couple of effect zeros down inside the tree. Charger comes in now, pops his ultimate, try and turn us around a little bit, but Hive looking for the bigger target to the back, but the once again stun comes through. RP still isn't ready. False Props actually keeping all but alive with triple RP. Again, the rock knocks out on top of it. Don't get an instant gratification, I guess, but they're still gonna find Pikachu. Maybe not. Good Throne Sphere held on to him for now, but he do finish on the troll wall at the second time. Pikachu, if he can, kite shots if he can, he will be able to survive. Dodges that, clap well, prevent him.
That's a really good fight for Hive.
Just holding on to their spells as long as they need and giving them at just right time. That false promise especially. And the crash.
And you gotta wonder if that courier hadn't died and a troll warlord had a blade of had his diffusal blade like in his inventory for that fight. He did have enough money for it. Like even now he has enough money for it. Pretty sure he did because he lost gold.
Yeah,
there,
but not
right?
much.
So
I'm pretty sure he did not have enough finish the fights
Maybe.
when they were like after the tier 2. That was the money. The edges, but
all right.
gonna have to. Can't let you get away.
I'm not 100% sold that he wouldn't have had the money up to that point if he had been able to get those items out earlier, and he would have been farming slightly faster. But point taken. As it was, he did not. He was a little bit short, but
Anyway, Fact of the matter is, they lose a big team fight. They especially lose a troll Wise, and he's the highest farm map. Stop the bleeding, essentially. Ralph looking to Mark now down. Experience a bit more favorable. And the more important part is they're starting to get their items going. D, just a couple hundred gold away from Pike. Treads down on Faces Void, and now it's part away.
Interesting, Afro Ninja is going spell amplification route rather than attack speed route. For a core, often we see like the Echo Saber power build, and for that you would expect attack speed to come at a pretty high premium. Instead, going for the amplification might imply that he's planning on playing a little bit more of a utility role.
Yeah. What other to flip? He gets to figure, hey, we're gonna have Howard, who's plus a Slaughter, who's also rather have ability to wave clear.
Yeah, the wave clear is a good point. Like, they don't really have good ways to just clear waves, other than that Magnus. Bring out shockwaves.
So, we said a little bit Hive, a little bit timid about moving out. So they have some good provisions.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, they've caught up really admirably. Now, there is a Midas on the Warlock, so if they ease up too long, their supports are probably going to fall behind. But Mirana sitting on top of an Ags is not exactly somebody who farms slowly herself. She's basically a semi-court.
High on top of the... Can they save it? Looks like it. Also, Fatal Bonds. Well, most of the teams, actually. The damage fall. Oh, not as successful as they... Did force us some ultimates here. The Stampede is also full silence. Stack these destroyed time. Try and take care of the tower, bring it very well. Shadow comes in, the imprisonment to stop that ultimate from coming out, but the RP beautifully takes care of Void, and it would have taken care of OD if it wasn't for false promise here. Turns around the Shadow, working for his ultimate, but no heals to speak of. Instead OD will still fall to one more right leg after he dies. He's out. But Troll Water really shines. He's got skirmishes. It's not with this completely. Roger's crushed though, not so much. Rock follows up with the servant comes in. Does his damage with the Starfall, but nearly enough to dance effect. Healed up by the Shadow Word, and now two more heroes down. It's easier to claim the set of racks. Side effect forced out. Not 5 seconds for Faces Void. He can come with Chronosphere though. Make them victims.
Huh. Can I just point out that Hive's logo floats above the ground? This is completely not related to the fight that just happened, but it's freaking me out a little bit.
Does a bit, doesn't it?
Floating there. Yeah. Floating there.
Maybe this was like some shadow effect.
No, I checked it out. During that fight, I went down on a creep. Well, I shouldn't phrase it like that. I used
Showcase
whatever
mode.
it's called mode to look at a creep at ground level, and it's literally floating.
Well, pretty unfair to effects logo.
No, but it is beveled, the effect logo. I also went and checked out the effect logo because I was a little confused. I'd not noticed that ever before the logos, but not sure when they changed that.
Anyway, effective game. Bit of counter spot here from Hive to make line up on the HJ force us on both sides means that the jig is up.
As foretold.
Look at this mobility out of effect. 4-step, Blink Dagger, Blink Dagger, Blink Dagger, Shadow Blade. And now another Shadow something coming out from Afro Ninja as well. Another Shadow Blade from Afro Ninja. is on the way and almost here. This mobility is insane.
Hard to catch him. The Stampede. That's
Dire's middle
well
tower
as
is under
so far
attack.
away to get in the mid. This much mobility that isn't even getting. Especially bad for the faces
Dire's
Void,
middle
who's
tower isn't going to last
feeling more
long.
and more pressure to find good chronosphere proactively and reactively. The amount of burst damage and effective rates are fair. We saw it in the last fight. Half an Ninja got an LP on 2 and they would have been burst down.
It looks
Choco's
like
ready to
Dire
engage
fortified
on
their
this. He's in
structures.
position, ready to blink, and there it goes.
It's out.
gonna be-
It is. 2-win chronosphere with OD on the outside. Right keep away. Arrow to follow. They will bring down Brewmaster. 2-win LP. It's a joy. Instantly annihilating the entire team with the fatal bonds. In orbit, slowed down by the Fuel Blade. It was a great start to a fight with the chronosphere, but then Alpha Ninja and Snow putting on the show.
Yeah. Troll Warlord within power and melee
Man.
mode is pretty rough. He's hitting per attack out 200 damage, and under the
Radiant's
effect of
top
battle
tower is
trance,
under attack.
yeah, under the effect of battle trance, he's attacking like once or twice every
Radiant's
second.
middle
Right?
barracks
So
have
he's pumping
fallen.
out 400 damage a second and cleave. Woo!
Oh,
rough.
Johnny. Be in the receiving end of that. So yeah, this is what
Radiant's top
killed him every
tower
single
deserves
time. These
just as
beautiful
much
bees.
help as Claw.
Yeah, I don't think he had a single RP though. They called
A soldier's fortune.
Things are starting to look a little bit worse for Hive, but one lane of supers is not the end of the world. They do have a Mirana within Ag. She can clear out supers like nobody's business. They still have Chronosphere to defensively swing these fights, as long as they don't get caught
The prize
out
is mine.
by that troll. Like, if they can target that troll down, or even if they can target down the Magnus to open these fights to stop the potential for reverse polarity, that's really ultimately what's killing them. The cleave only works because all of Hive is shoved into a point.
Dire's middle
There has to be
tower
a
is
full
under
display
attack. Dire's middle
for-
tower just went down.
Mana for like 25 seconds. Repelling
Radiant have
cooldown.
fortified their
Time
structures.
For effect.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Towers, but already committing it. Tell that this is their only objective. Take one approach.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Someone better help Dire's middle tower.
Soon they can take care of the other shrine. Maybe just fake bag.
So today I learned that I had a blind spot. Everybody has them. The spirits are not affected by battle trance, which is obvious in retrospect, but during the draft I had said something like, oh, the spirits, if they attack really fast, rushing damage onto the tower will be really good at sieging. Battle trance doesn't affect the spirits.
Finds out a couple of viewers, rocks drop, arrow flies through, it hits on a golem, so that one's something. Pikachu to the side. Well, started to fuel up on his intelligence, but not really big money. Down to the end, and the control is there. Beautiful stop the movement. Try and get something out of it. They do get the initial target. About a one cost goal.
Bucko 5, Bucko 7. I mean, it's really not that much of a cost because they can't win any money here anyway, but it's certainly going to cost them the game.
1500 gold swing, they only lose.
Is Radiant
Still
going to
play.
let their bottom barracks
Yeah,
fall?
that's cheeky.
I've realized it. They're done playing. It's not fun anymore if we keep losing.
Dire victory!
Yeah.
Who could turn away from this battle?
Yeah.